Purify my dreams as I cover my face with it.
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Aryahna. If you're new here and if you're a returning subscriber, what's up? So, as you can see by the title, your girl, well, I'm doing it. Well, by the time you see this video, I'm going to be off the Daniel fast. Daniel consecration, we'll get into that later. But today is day 14. So, let me actually sit down so we can have a chat. So, right now I'm having what is this? Hot lemon water with a couple of dashes of turmeric and a little bit of chia seeds. So this is the first thing I'm putting into my system. The other mornings, because I kind of had like a little cold, the other mornings I would boil hot water, cloves with some onions in it, and then I would put lime after I drained it and put it into my cup. Now you're probably wondering, why would you boil onions for tea? Mind you, when I first did it, I'm like, this is probably gonna taste disgusting and sound crazy. But when I did it, you barely could taste the onions, barely, if you put the cloves in it as well. And then once you put the lime in it or lemon, it kind of overpowers everything. So you don't really taste it and you're drinking for health reasons. So it's good. We're gonna have a sit down talk and talk about the last 14 days. So how I even decided to do this fast is gonna be a very interesting. Let me get into how I even got onto this fast, because mind you, I don't think anybody, I like to say consecration, but for now I'll say fast. But I don't think anybody voluntarily wants to fast. Like, it's not, is it fun fasting? When you're doing it with a group of people, yes. But when you're by yourself, sometimes it's a little like, whew, I need the strength. Lord help me. But how this fast came about, it crossed my mind or crossed my path, but like I never felt to do it. And last year, January, this sounds crazy out loud, but I was like, I don't really want to do that fast. Like, I'd rather just do another fast. So I did the other fast. And then throughout the entire year of 2024, honestly, there was just like, it'll just drop in my spirit. You're going to have to do the fast. You're going to have to do the fast. You're going to have to do the fast. So then I think God got fed up with me when it came to that. The late end of December 2024, early January of this year, 2025, I feel like I kept hearing different people, mind you, different people that don't really like talk to each other, different people bring up the fast. And I think about 3 or 4 people, maybe 3 people asked me like, oh, are you going to do it? Or brought it up to me. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, now I really feel like I should be doing it, but I still don't want to do it. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll consider it. Let me just pray about it. And then I went on YouTube and there was this video of this lady. The title of the video was called let me see if I can pull it up. The title of the video was God is telling you to be obedient. And that was that was the entire title. There was no like extra stuff at the end or before. The title of the video was called God is telling you to be obedient. And usually I don't watch a lot of videos like that because I'm very I don't want to say maybe hesitant. I don't really watch a lot of videos like that because, you know, you got to have discernment. Some people are telling the truth. Some people are really speaking from what they heard God say or what they feel like God is leading them to do. And other people are just doing it for clout, for views, for whatever it is. So I'm real hesitant on videos that I watch like that. But for this video, I really felt led to watch it. And I clicked it. I'm like, okay, let's see like what she's gonna say. And mind you, before that, the beginning of this year or end of last year, December 2024, I really felt like obedience just kept like going through my head, like the word obedience, or like just making sure I'm obedient to what God is telling me to do. So I clicked her video. So I'm just like, okay. A lot of the stuff she was saying, I'm like, Then she was like, she felt led to do the Daniel fast. When she said that, I'm like, oh, I know this is God. I know for a fact this is God. Because all the 3 or 4 people that came up to me, different people coming up to me, asking me, am I going to do it? Then I watched this video, God is telling you to be obedient. And then she brought up the Daniel fast. I'm like, all right, God, at this point, I feel like God was like yelling. I don't want to say yelling at me, but I feel like he was yelling at me at that point. Like, girl, do the fast. Like, you're not hearing it or seeing it all these different which ways just for fun. Like, do the fast. So once I seen that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I started bawling because I'm just like, I know this is God. Like, I know God is telling me to do this fast. I know watching this video was God led. So I'm like, you know what? And that was on January 8th. But like, I was like, maybe I'll think about it. But when I saw that video that night, January 8th, I'm like, you know what? I gotta start tomorrow. I have to start tomorrow. If I delay doing this fast any longer, I will be moving out of disobedience. And that's not what God wants. So I'm like, you know what? I seen that video the night of January 8th and said I'm gonna start the next day. Mind you, I did not prep. I didn't have any foods for real that follow the guidelines of the fast. Like, I'm just like, you know what, God, you're telling me to do it. I'm just gonna do it. The next day, I'm just like, let me figure out what I can make. So I ended up making my moulin. If you're Haitian, it's kind of like, it's grits. It's basically like yellow grits. And I ended up making that with some, my dad brought like some Mediterranean food. So like hummus and tabbouleh salad, which is like perfect, like right on time. I'm just like, thank God. So then I think the day after that, or 2 days after that, because I had some more of the grits to last me a couple of days, or 2 days, I went to the store, went and bought some food, and I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna get to it. Like, we're gonna do this. If God is leading me to do this, then he's going to give me the strength to get through it. And mind you, before I came in this video, I was counting the days of where I was at. I'm like, I'm already at 14 days. Like, I was low-key shook. I was expecting it for it to be at least like 10. And it's funny because I feel like day 10 was a couple of days ago, but like already being at 14 days, I'm just like, whoa. So yeah, now on to the food. Honestly, it has not been as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot harder. I thought I was going to be dreading it. Like, it honestly hasn't been that hard. Well, let me say, it hasn't been that hard because I think for 2 reasons. I really love to cook, and when I cook, it's like a joy. So we're gonna get into some of the meals that I've been making. And mind you, before this, I was not really a big meal prep person. I do not care to meal prep, if I'm going to be honest with you. But I've learned that that's what I've had to do, which is not bad. It's been very interesting because on this fast, it's not even mainly about the food per se, because you're doing it to deny your flesh of the foods that you actually want and to be more in your word and read your Bible more. So we're gonna get into some of the things that I've made. Now, I have 7 days left. I have a week left. Mind you, some of this stuff lasted a couple of days, so I have to cook same day. Let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, here's a picture of the food that I made the first day. Haitian grits with, I had olives, I had avocado, and then I had a tabbouleh salad on top that my dad brought. And mind you, so I didn't realize this the first couple of days, but I realized that when it comes to this fast, and I didn't do it intentionally, but that God sees that I was actively trying to do it and being obedient. I didn't realize that you can't have regular salt. You can't have iodized salt. You could have Himalayan salt and you could have sea salt, but you can't have iodized salt. So, and I believe that the olives had iodized salt, but I didn't realize till afterwards. So once I found that out, I just stopped eating the olives. This was brown rice and quinoa, hummus, stir-fried vegetables, and avocado and I sprinkled the lemon on the top. This was actually really good, but I got tired of this after like day 2. I actually have like more brown rice and quinoa that I can make, but I'm just like, I'm brown rice and quinoa out. This plate right here was so good. So I made the marinara sauce from scratch because when I went to the store, all the sauces in the glasses had salt, it had some other stuff in it, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do the fast, I want to do it right. Like, if it says not to have salt, I'm not gonna have salt. So I made fresh marinara sauce at home, and it turned out so good. Like, that, I think that was my first time ever making it for real. Yeah, I think that was my first time ever making it for real for pasta. Well, I made tomato soup, so it's kind of the same thing. But anyways, pertaining to pasta, this is my first time ever making marinara sauce, and it was so good, so fresh. The pasta is a brown rice and quinoa pasta, so it's not regular pasta. And then I added some squash and zucchini and tomatoes that were seasoned and stir fried, and then I add them in. This by far has been one of my favorite meals. 100 out of 10, honestly. It was so good. So what you see at the top is air fried red potatoes that were seasoned, and then I mixed up some hummus, or I store-bought hummus. I actually want to try and make my own hummus before the fast is over, but that's store-bought hummus, and I kind of lightened it with olive oil or with avocado oil so that it could be thinner. And I added a little bit of garlic powder so it could enhance the flavor. Then I made stir-fried cabbage with onions and seasoned that. Added lime. I don't remember the seasonings exactly, but like lime, Himalayan salt, garlic powder. I do not remember what else I seasoned that with, but that was really good. I remember I put a little bit of cumin, and that was it. And then a side of beets. Next plate of food, oh my gosh, so I'm not a big sweets person, so I wasn't big on making sweets. I tried to make oatmeal pancakes with like a strawberry syrup, and because I didn't use milk, because I didn't have milk, I used water. It just wasn't, I don't know, I think I did something wrong with these. Now, if I did something wrong, y'all can let me know in the comments. Like I said, I didn't get milk because a lot of the milk at the store had xanthan gum in it, so I didn't want to get that because that would be considered processed, and you can't have processed foods, so boy, that was rough. I made vegetable broth from scratch because at the store it had salt in it and some of them had sugar, and I'm like, I'm gonna just make my own from scratch. Turned out so good because I wanted to make like a vegetable noodle soup. So I made my own vegetable broth, which turned out really good. This is my first time ever making it, and I think it was pretty good for my first time. And then here I made my marinara sauce again for the first time because I was gonna make pasta again, but it was a different type of pasta. So here is the pasta. When I tell y'all, this pasta right here, it was whole wheat pasta, and the sauce was from scratch. When I say this pasta right here, it was so good I forgot I was fasting. That's how, like, it was so good I forgot that I had to supplement things in this pasta for it to be Daniel fast approved, because I'm like, when I say bust down, like, and then this was the finished product of the broth once it was like done boiling, and I added the seasonings. And then the next day is when I made that not chicken noodle soup, I made vegetable noodle soup, and that's what here is. I think I kind of put a little bit too much turmeric in the soup, but which is fine because it's healthy for you anyways. So the soup was still really good, like really good. And as you can see on the side, oh, if you're wondering, for the noodles, it's the same noodles, the same brand of noodles that I used for the first pasta, which was brown rice and quinoa based. The noodles, it had potatoes, onions, cabbage, celery, mushroom. What else did it have? And I think that was it with the noodles. So at the bottom is air fried sweet potatoes with black beans, stir fried bell peppers, and then with guacamole on top. This wasn't bad. I think the only thing is I should have peeled the sweet potatoes. I wanted to keep them on for like nutritional value, but I probably should have peeled them because I didn't like the way it tasted in this bowl. But this bowl wasn't too bad. I'll probably give this bowl an 8 out of 10. The guacamole actually tasted really good with this, and it gave a good hint of freshness from the lime that was in it. But this bowl wasn't too bad. I'll probably give it like an 8 out of 10, like I said. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've had so far. And if those meals, like the spaghetti, lasted me at least like, the first pasta lasted about 3 days, and then that spaghetti pasta lasted about 4 days. But these have been so good. Pistachios with sea salt Other snacks I've been having is like cashews, drinking tea. Drinking tea has helped a lot and I didn't realize it. But yeah, that's pretty much the update up until now. But glory be to God, it's day 14. But by God's grace, we will make it to day 7. Well, we will make it to day 21 and complete it completely.